Packed Tuesday afternoon here on the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show. Welcome in to episode number 7 of the show. Mike Leslie, Jonah Javad to my left, producer Andrew Seeley at the big desk, and director Kelly around the half wall. We are to Game 5 day in the series between the Stars and the Minnesota Wild. We'll talk an awful lot about that, but Cooper Flagg is Rookie of the Year, and Dallas feels, I think, a bit certainly happy about it at the very least, if not justified.
I would imagine that the vast majority of Mavs fans are pumped about this. I would imagine also that our certain NASCAR guest that we had on yesterday, Austin Dillon, is a wee bit bummed after his Hornet Star Concanipple came up short.
Yeah, but, that take hit the wall and kind of drug in a little bit. So
the NASCAR puns just right out the gate.
You're
welcome.
Just started the show, Andrew.
And we're already...
They're right there. They're right there.
We don't have time to send him to the penalty box right now. But
would it be a pit stop for NASCAR?
Right.
Yeah, I'll run in here real quick. No.
Kelly, don't take the influence from him.
I will absolutely encourage this.
Please do not. Please do not. We are loaded today, so let's get right into it with what's on the show. On the show today, the return of a fan favorite show. Is that a good thing? Is it a bad thing? We'll break that down in the final block of the show. Razor Ray, the fantastic Dallas Stars analyst, will join us in the second block to break down Game 5, and we'll do an awful lot more than just talk about Game 5 with Razor Ray. Fred Katz, NBA writer, joins us here in just a couple of moments to talk about Cooper Flagg winning Rookie of the Year, because after such a long debate, such a heated debate between Flagg and Concanipple, we finally got the word last night from Grant Hill, former Rookie of the Year himself, who won the award.
Uh-oh. I'm nervous.
It's okay.
All right, the Kia Rookie of the Year 2026, Cooper Flagg from the Dallas Mavericks.
Well, no doubt about it. Cooper Flagg, your Rookie of the Year. And we got to bring in a senior NBA writer for The Athletic, Fred Katz, coming to us from the closet. What is going on there, buddy? We found in all of New York, in all of New York City, you found that space that you could do this for.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. I normally have a nicer background, but I make sure that my background is equivalent to the quality of show that I'm on. So
then you have chosen correctly.
That's perfect.
You're lucky I'm not doing it like in the choky Matilda style.
I have so many questions.
We have a lot of questions, Fred. But I suppose we should start with the obvious. How much of the Coop versus Con debate was raging in your head, or was it kind of clear and obvious by season's end?
Well, I should say this on the Dallas show. I didn't vote for Cooper Flagg. I voted for Concanipple. It wasn't obvious. I would not say it was obvious. It was one of my more difficult awards votes that I have. Flagg is incredible, and in a normal season, he's the runaway Rookie of the Year. But this year's rookie class was just absolutely outstanding. In a lot of years, VJ Edgecombe would be the Rookie of the Year. In a lot of years, Dylan Harper, who didn't even make my ballot, would be the Rookie of the Year. To me, the difference was that Flagg, it's just a little more difficult to interpret the numbers that he's putting up when everything is revolved around him on the team, which is not a knock on Flagg whatsoever. That's the case that a lot of rookies find themselves in, and I think he's going to be incredible, and I think he's probably the best prospect and will be the best player out of these guys. Concanipple affected the game in ways that rookies don't really affect the game. We can get into that a little bit deeper if you want, and that kind of put me over the top with him.
I just want to know, why are you so obsessed with three-pointers?
Well, it's not just the three-pointers, Jonah. It's funny you ask that. It's the way the three-pointers affect the rest of the game. So, for example, people consider shooting and spacing to be the same skill in basketball, when the reality is they're extremely related and one has to do with the other, but they're not the same thing. Dwayne Wade, who like you were obsessed with, Dwayne Wade, who could not shoot threes and never did shoot threes, was an elite spacer because of his reputation and also because of his off-ball cutting. Now, normally what happens is somebody hits a bunch of threes, but if you're a rookie, guys don't guard you because you haven't earned that reputation yet. Con Knipple was the best spacer in the NBA this year because of his off-ball movement, because of his ability to move around screens, and because defenses just reacted to him in a way that they never have for a rookie. So there's this stat on bballindex.com. It's a great stat called gravity, which measures basically how much you're pulling defenders out towards you. Con Knipple this year didn't just have the best gravity of any player in the NBA, which is extraordinary for a rookie, and a huge reason why the Hornets offense opened up completely in a way that completely changed the way the team ran. It's also just the fact that it is an all-time spacing season, an all-time gravity season for Con Knipple. The only players in the history of that stat, which goes back like 20 years, the only players in the history of that stat to have better gravity seasons are Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. And that is it. So we're talking about the way that this guy impacts his teammates and makes his teammates better. Cooper Flagg does it in lots of ways too. Makes his teammates way better as a passer, with gravity on his drives and all these other things. Con Knipple does it in a more subtle way. So we don't necessarily see it in the assists. We don't necessarily see it on the drives and the scoring, but we can see it in other ways if you look closely enough. And that's why I went with Knipple. I have no issue with Flagg winning. He's phenomenal. He's going to be an all-NBA player, maybe an MVP. He's that level of talent. I have no issue with him winning whatsoever, but that kind of set it apart for me.